Hey YouTube, today we're making pickles, and now the wife is washing them up, and then I've been cutting them up and putting them into wide mouth pint jars. Probably should be using quart size jars, it'd probably go quicker, but this is what we're doing. We got our lids priming just like when we did the sauerkraut. Got our boiling water bath canner warming up. And we're doing it the easy way today. There's this ball canning mix for kosher dill pickles. Obviously they're not kosher because I'm not a rabbi and the wife isn't a rabbi either. So I don't know why it's called kosher, but yeah, these cucumbers came from my mother's garden. Pack of seeds for cucumbers, pickling cucumbers cost 17 cents, my mom said. The difference between a pickling cucumber and a regular cucumber is there's no wax on the outside of these cucumbers. So I guess your canning fluids can make it in there. And yeah, we're just cutting these up into little spears and putting it in the jar. Probably in a few minutes here we'll end up starting to pour our vinegar in and mix this ball kosher dill pickle mix up. One quick word on vinegar. Make sure the vinegar you use isn't vinegar that you've made yourself. You want it to say right there, I don't know if it's in focus, but it says 5% acidity there. You want your vinegar to have a stabilized acidity, or else you're going to end up having problems. If you have too low of an acidity, your food's going to spoil in the jars. The acidity is what's essentially killing off or preventing bacteria from growing. So make sure it's, just normal cheap vinegar. Look at the bottom. If it says 5% acidity, that's the vinegar you're looking for doing this. We'll check in a little while here once we got our pickling brine going. Now we're adding the, we already got 6 cups of water and 2.5 cups of vinegar. So now we're just going to go through and add the pickling salt, which, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got a little flecks of dill, some salt. I think it might have a little sugar in it. Let's see. Yeah, sugar, salt, dextrose, spices, dehydrated garlic, and some other flavors. So essentially that's how easy it is for this. There's no mixing spices, worrying about salt or anything like that. You warm this up. You want it to just be warm for a while, and then get it to hot right before you're going to put in your jars. The longer your vinegar is hot or boiling, the less your acidity starts to break down in your vinegar the longer you boil it. So you want your pickles in your jars first, and then you want to do this. If you keep it on low, just so it starts warming up, you're not going to burn through the acidity. But one thing to think of: don't have this boiling while you're still packing the pickles into the jars, the cucumbers into the jars, because, it takes a while to get these packed in here real nice, and you see that, and you want them in there packed real tight so they don't float up to the top. When you pour the brine that we're making right here into there, I guess it's not rocket science, but it's hard to do the first time. I know a lot of my pickles start to float. when I first did this, which shouldn't be a huge deal, but it's one thing to think of. Hey, and now we're just waiting for this to get up to a boil here. Once it gets up to a boil, we'll turn off the heat and we'll ladle it into these jars. Not sure if I showed you guys this yesterday, but it's a funnel made specifically for canning. It is a little funky on these jars because it might not fit all the way in, but I might need to pack these jars down a little more. But yeah, so we're just waiting for it to boil, and we're going to ladle it in, and then we'll throw it in the water bath canner. Okay. Hey, and now we got our 1/2 inch of head space. We got these debubbled by, you debubble them just by going like that. When you pack them straight up and down, you really don't get many bubbles. And so now we're just wiping the lids or the rims of the jars, making sure there's no junk on them. We got a 1/2 inch of head space here, or at least we're trying to keep a 1/2 inch of head space. And then we're taking our primed lids and putting them on. When we put these on, we're just going finger tight. You don't want to crank them on. So once they get that tight, you're good. And then we're going to process them in the boiling water bath. I gotta look again to see how long that's gonna take at our altitude. But yep. So at our altitude, we're at 2,000 feet last time I checked. We're gonna process these jars for 20 minutes. The base processing time, if you were at sea level, is 15 minutes. So we're adding 5 minutes because we happen to be at 2,000 feet elevation. And I'm just dropping these in with the handy jar grabber. It's a good tool. And so it looks like in my water bath canner I can only fit 6 wide mouth jars. I'm pretty sure I can fit 7 of the regular jars, but just because it's a little bit of a different shape, I think I can only fit less, or I can fit less. But so we're going to start the processing for 20 minutes and then take these out, throw the next batch in, process those for 20 minutes, and then let them cool down for about 30 minutes until they're room temperature, right on the lids. Make sure the lid's sealed. Once the lids are sealed, they don't pop back up and down. So once the lids seal, here's a jar that we did yesterday of sauerkraut. You can pretty well grab it by the lid and it's not going to unseal. It doesn't pop when you tap. When you tap on the top of the lid, there's no bubble there because there's a vacuum between the mass and the bottom of the jar and the little bit of air there. But I think this is going to conclude our making pickles the quick and easy way. Thanks for watching. Definitely comment, subscribe, rate, whatever, ask questions. I'm by no means an expert on any of this. Do your own research. Make sure you know you're doing whatever works in your part of the world. But thanks for watching. Bye.